Hello and welcome to IAS Origin. This video we will discuss about writing answers. People write answers and then they say that UPSC doesn't give marks. I always tell my students that UPSC gave marks but you don't know how to fetch from it. So in this video we will discuss how to structure a perfect answer for UPSC Civil Services examination where you can fetch extra marks from other competition or other candidates. In this video, we will discuss some techniques that will help you in improving your answer writing. And before answer writing, I will tell you certain things about writing practice only. The speed you need, the handwriting, the legibility, and other things. And other area, we will discuss about the content, introduction, conclusion, what to write in the body, and how to present your argument, what you are reading in newspaper and the text box. Before moving into the video, I would like you to remind you our 3 hours UPSC masterclass, which is absolutely free, where I have discussed about things related to syllabus, PYQ, sources, answer writing, everything in detail. So make sure you register, which is absolutely free. Link is given in the description. Now, when I talk about answer writing on a single page, if you say, people make mistakes about writing on ruled pages. But if you see question cum answer booklet of UPSC Civil Services examination, which you will get, you have the space only this much to write, that is in between. On the borders, you have to leave that. The reason is that is for administrative purposes. But if you write answers in full A4 size sheet, okay, A4 size paper, or you will do the answer writing practice on ruled lines, again, you are going to struggle in this for sure. So don't write on this, don't write on this, first thing. Second thing about the writing speed. Generally, speed we need is approximately 30 words per minute. So 30 words per minute, first you need to develop that speed. For example, 20 questions you are getting in 180 minutes, and under that you will get approximately 9 minutes to write 2 pages. It means one answer of 200 words. It means approximately you will get 4.5 minutes to write 1 page. And that 1 page consists of 100 words. So here you can see the speed that you need to develop. You need to read the question, you need to frame your answer and start writing it. So we'll discuss these things, how to do it. Number 1 is introduction. Number 1 point under introduction is it must be indicative in nature. Indicative, it means it should give an indication to the examiner that you understood the question. Let's take an example. Now, Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose both wanted India to get freedom. But the idea, the approach followed by both these people were very different. One was fighting internally, another was taking help externally. Comment. So suppose this is a type of a question that you are getting. Now you understand that their objective was same, but the ways were different. The methodologies adopted was very different. Now here you need to analyze both sides and write it what exactly happened. So in the introduction, if you start like that, like you start with Mahatma Gandhi or you start like Subhash Chandra Bose, it will not serve the purpose. In the introduction, it must be indicative that you understood the bigger aim of the question is to get the independence irrespective of the ways or irrespective of the idea or the way that they followed. So here in this scenario, you have to write overview and take it into 1 or 2 lines to write the introduction of your answer. Take another example like Swadeshi movement 1905. British wanted Hindu-Muslim divide in 1905. That is why they have done Bengal partition. And on the appeasement of policies, they have divided Bengal in such a way that Hindu Bengalis are on a different side and Muslim Bengalis on the different side. And they have created another party in 1906 known as Muslim League, and that led to partition of our nation. So in that same scenario, if you see the structure of it, and if suppose the question comes that it was less administrative decision, more political decision by the British authority, critically analyze. If questions like this come, you have to analyze the overall picture asked in the question. Some questions are like, in the light of this statement, give XYZ thing. So that statement is not the exact question. The question they asked is regarding that statement. So you must have seen in the PYQs. Let's talk about introduction. I always say it should cover 10% of the word limit. Okay, word limit. It means not more than 10%, because I always say writing answers like flying an airplane. Like an airplane, it starts with thrust, with speed, and try to reach as high as possible as the desired height. So what airplane or the pilots are doing with airplane is start early, start quick. So again, the third point is quick, to the point start. This must be there in your introduction. If not, if you're beating around the bushes, then you will struggle. You will not get marks. Imagine that you are reading a newspaper editorial and you do not enjoy the first paragraph. Obviously, if it's a part of the syllabus, you will read it, but you will not enjoy reading it. Imagine the same with the examiner, those who are evaluating your copy. If they do not enjoy reading your answer, do you think you will get marks? The answer is simple. So here what I'm saying is, make it curiosity, some kind of interest. So here, fourth point is curiosity. Okay. So first is indicative in nature. Introduction must be indicative in nature. It should have 10% of the word limit, not more than that. It should be like quick start, to the point, related to the demand of the question. And last is, it should generate curiosity in the mind of the reader. Next point about the logical flow. So when we talk about body in answer writing, when we talk about body, under body there are certain factors like keywords, like content, like context, okay, like facts, data, like examples, and there are several other, like in my classes I've explained around 15-16, but here these are the major where we can understand about the body. Now the logical flow must be there. For example, a criminal you catch for a crime like theft, will you shoot at sight that person? The answer is no. But if you see someone trespassing a military area in Jammu and Kashmir or border areas of Pakistan, Bangladesh, China, what will you do? Shoot at sight. So you should understand the logical flow. If you catch a criminal for a small crime, you will take it to the police station, then magistrate, then a case, etc., etc. And then judge will declare some kind of punishment. Logical flow must be there. Logical flow means a chronology is very vital. If some suggestion UPSC is asking in certain question, in the first point you write which is like easily implementable, second most, third, fourth, fifth. If you say how our country should grow, you say remove corruption. Now writing remove corruption and doing or removing corruption actually is very difficult. Both are very different. So write realistic answers, write realistic logics and realistic implementable things so that UPSC reward you with marks. Under body, keywords are important. Like for example, India got its independence 1947. Then Indian policymaker took the planning commission. Planning commission was in charge of making plans, etc., etc. Now the words that I've used: planning commission, 1950 established, first 5-year plan, agriculture, and so on. So these words are keywords. If they are not, obviously you will struggle to get marks. Next is content. Content means the information of that particular incident, like Manrega scheme. So 100 days of employment, you will get non-agricultural labor, etc., etc. That is content. Next is context. Context is very vital. Like in 2024-25, we can criticize our first prime minister. But if you imagine the situation of 1950s, that is what we call context. In that context, like I can criticize you for not doing good in your examination. But if I talk about your situation in the examination hall, it means I'm talking about context. Are you getting my point? So it's like this is a water bottle. Under this, there's water. So water is content and this bottle is context. So if I put this water on floor, content will remain same, but the context will change. Are you getting my point? Next we have is facts and data. Very important. How will you analyze? Article 21. Why it is on 21? Data, GDP data, inflation data. So if you say inflation is going up, how will you prove that? Right? Approximate data. And we have examples. So suppose you say government is doing XYZ thing in infrastructure sector. And write examples like Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. How National Highway Authority of India is contributing to India's roadways. Vande Bharat. So these are the examples that you quote to support your argument. This is what I call body. Next we have supportive argument, data and examples. Suppose for example you are saying Mohandas Gandhiji, he contributed to India's freedom struggle. He was a very nice man. We used to write essays in our school and college on Mahatma Gandhi. In that particular time period, if you say that person was nice, if you give examples, Chauri Chaura incident, why Gandhiji took that back. Lot of thinkers says that if Gandhiji was not in the opinion of taking the non-cooperation movement, India must have got independence in 1920s only. But if you see the problem, it may also be possible that India or the freedom struggle movement that we were doing, they must have been crushed by the British government. So he took that because non-violence was his policy. The reason was simple, we cannot fight. At that particular time, we were not very armed that much so that we can fight the British authority. Second time he got that opportunity in Quit India movement. Then the environment was different. So India was near to independence. So here what I'm saying that if you provide examples, like Gandhiji was in favor of non-violence, give examples. And that is where you get points, you get marks. Okay. So data and examples are very important because if you argue without facts, figures, data, examples, you will not get marks for sure. And the last we have is forward-looking approach. That is in conclusion. Now, UPSC wants aspirants to write conclusion. People generally confuse. They write summary of whatever they have written in conclusion. Conclusion is not a summary. Conclusion is to conclude, to reach a certain point in order to explain that particular answer. If they are saying you to take stand for a particular thing, like farmer protests going on. Now somebody say these are actual farmer, other person say these are Khalistani, funded, backed protest. And they are waiting that government do something and they will accuse India of human rights violation, etc., etc. Indian government smartly played and withdrew all those laws. But okay, this is not the right time to implement. Let's wait for the right time, then we will implement. Everyone is saying that Our Prime Minister is not similar to Indira Gandhi, and he is not invading Bangladesh like 1971. Pakistan, China, USA waiting for India to invade Bangladesh so that India make mistake and they put sanctions economically. You understand? Conclusions, something to conclude, to reach certain argument. If it is asked in the question, if they're not taking or not saying to take stand, don't take. But here you need to understand that whenever we are writing answers, conclusion must be optimistic. They are making IAS officers, IPS officer, you will run the country for next 20, 30 years. They want optimistic ideology. They want nationalistic ideology. You think about the nation. You remain optimistic about situation. People say invade Bangladesh. Indian government is economically weakening Bangladesh. From 45 billion US dollar of foreign exchange reserve, they reach 18 billion. Just because a small foreign backed funded protest took Bangladesh 20 years back economically. Their merchandise industry destroyed totally. People did not get wages for 3 to 4 months. India is waiting for next 3-4 months again. They will not have electricity, water, food, etc. They will struggle. And every protest required funds. Even if you put a poster and go in your city or a village, you require funds for that, to print that banner. So in that scenario, you have to understand how you conclude the answer and how UPSC wants you to conclude the answer. Last thing, very important. After reading the conclusion, examiner will give marks. And if you want to fetch good marks, your conclusion must be up to the mark of whatever logical flow that you have followed in your answer. I hope you like this video. Do subscribe IAS Origin to get more videos like this. And don't forget to register for 3 hours free masterclass on UPSC. Thank you and have a nice day.